All right. Let's see how it goes today. Is the sound okay? All right, a few thumbs up. Then let's begin. Taking a nice breath in, let's take a moment to come into presence wherever you find yourself this morning, taking a look around and noticing what's coming to you through the senses, light and colors. Perhaps there are scents on the air, the temperature and the movement of the air, the shapes of the room. Then bringing our attention inward, let's allow the eyes to drift closed and begin to get an idea of our inner landscape. Sensing what's present around the edges of the body, hands and feet, the outer edges of the skin. And then finally bringing awareness into the core of the body. Noticing that space inside and what kind of energy seems to fill it this morning. Tired energy or zippy energy. Just noticing what's there. Then we'll breathe our way through awareness of different parts of the body and allow a sense of relaxation to come into each of those as we go. So you can choose to have your eyes open or closed. But let's begin with a nice breath in, bringing the attention to the top of the head. Getting some sense of presence there. And then with the exhale, letting a wave of softness pass down through the body. Letting go of that first flush of tension. Again, breathing in. Now let's get a little more specific. With the exhale, relaxing across the brow and around the eyes. Breathing, and with the exhale, softening the jaw. Now let's bring awareness down to the shoulders, and maybe as we breathe in this time, let's lift the shoulders up, squeezing them toward the ears, and with the exhale, allowing them to fall. Noticing now that the arms are hanging heavy and limp, and the hands are at rest on the legs. Let's breathe in and send a little softness down the back of the body. And again, breathing and releasing tension in the belly. The weight of the body pressing into the chair. Then we'll breathe in and send that exhale right down the legs. The energy of the exhale, softening those big muscles in the legs. And finishing with an awareness of the feet touching into the floor. Now, here and grounded and a little more present, let's work with our breath. Some real intentional work with the yogic breath. So as we breathe in now, let's allow the belly to swell out. Pressing in with the abdominal muscles as we exhale. Breathing at your own pace, belly moving out. Belly pressing in. Now we'll breathe in. Hold the breath for a moment. Now pressing in with the abdominal muscles. Holding the breath out for a moment. And let's take a few breaths like that, all the way in. Holding. Pressing it out. Holding it out just briefly. And again. Waking up the body from the inside. Finding those interior muscles and waking them up. All right, I thought that today we could do, I need new glasses. I thought that today we could do a little bit of variation on our usual practice. So let's begin standing up today. All right, so coming to your mountain pose. We'll work our joint freeing series into the rest of the practice, but let's start like this. Now, mountain, feet are about hip distance apart. The knees are soft, chest and shoulders open. Let's see if we can't bend the body in all of the cardinal directions. First of all, let's stretch it upward, swinging the arms up as we breathe in into stick pose, reaching out through the fingertips. So we're as tall as we can be, down through the heels, up through the fingertips, floating the arms down. And again, breathing in and out. Now shake it out just a little bit, make sure things are loose, and we'll do some forward bending. So beginning with our hands at heart center, let's breathe in and sweep the arms up, and then we'll swan dive down with the knees soft, the back fairly level. This is our first forward bend, so take it easy. It's okay to have the knees soft. Allow the body to adjust to the pose. Try bringing your hands to your shins. We'll breathe in and look up, flattening the back. And then exhale, resting back down over the legs. Maybe the belly will get a little closer to the thighs. And now that it's time to come up, let's put a good bend in the knees and reverse that swan dive. Always sparing the spine. Back to center. Let's do that again. Breathing in. Swan dive down. Hands to the shins. Flatten the back and look up. Exhale, back down over the legs. Bend the knees and reverse, coming all the way back up and to center. Let's take it one more time. I'll be silent and you can have your experience. back to center. Now, whenever you come in for a landing, let's take the arms up, steeple the fingers. We'll do a little sideways bending. Allowing the strength of the side body to control your movement. Take it nice and slow, letting a little space come in between the ribs. Coming back to center, we'll let the arms come down. Let's make sure that chest and shoulders are open. So with the arms out front, let's take them behind the back, interlacing the fingers, and let the hands rest on the sacrum. Breathing in. And with the exhale, draw the elbows toward each other. Chest and shoulders opening. Releasing now. And back to center. So we've gone forward, sideways on both sides. Let's treat ourselves to a back bend. Make it a simple one. It's the first one of the day. Give yourself some nice support in the flank of the body there. Breathe in and take the body backward. You can control how far back you're comfortable going. Feel the stretch up the front of the thighs. Controlling the weight of the head. Chest and shoulders open. Now coming back up. We've bent the body in all of the cardinal directions. And let's see. Let's come to the table pose. I've got a plan today. So lining your chair up in front of you, finding your table posture. See if you can level the back and draw the head up in line with the spine. And just as we always do today, let's begin to loosen the spine. Put a good bend in your knees. It helps you to bend your back that way. And then we'll do a little cow and cat. Rolling the spine gently up and down. Breathing in as the chin lifts. Exhaling as the spine rolls up toward the ceiling. This can go from the tailbone all the way up into the cervical spine, allowing the head to even hang. Pretty delicious movement. Now coming back to center, let's take the tail from side to side, loosening the low back a little bit. And then we'll pay some homage to upper body strength. Coming back to your table pose, let's challenge ourselves to do 5 or 8 cat bows. Letting the weight of the upper body come down on the hands and arms. Breathing as we move. And of course, I already lost count, so you can be responsible for your own motions. Coming back up to center, coming back to your table pose. Let's do a little simple sunbird, breathing in as we lift one leg out behind. Exhale it back to the floor. Try that on the other side, breathing it up, exhaling down. Alternating sides. Now, after you've done a few repetitions of this half of Sunbird, let's pay a little attention to our joints as well. So the next time you have one leg out behind, let's bend and flex the foot. Circle the ankles. We'll bend the knee. And take that one back to the floor. Now on the other side of the body, same thing. We'll take the leg up, point and flex. Circle. And loosen up the knees. Then let's get our weight off the wrists. And we'll pay a little attention to arms and shoulders. Taking one arm in across the front of the body. Let's press in on the elbow. Giving a little stretch to the shoulder. And by the same token, let's do forearms and wrists. Now on the other side, folding that arm across the front of the body. Just give it a moment to get a good stretch up here in the infraspinatus muscle. And then we'll do wrists and forearms. Now, with the hands in the front, let's roll the wrists around each other. Maybe you'll feel a stretch across the backs of the hands. And I suppose you get a little movement in the elbows as well. Reversing direction. And then for the hands, star, claw, and beak. Star, claw, and beak. Now with the arms up front and center, let's do a little work with the shoulders, breathing the body open, exhaling closed, breathing in, breathing out. And the next time we have the arms open, let's rotate a few times. Feel the arm bones rotating around there in the shoulder joint. And from this cactus position, let's draw the elbows down to the sides. See if you can move the shoulder blades a little bit. And back up to center. Letting the arms go. Let's do just one more thing with the shoulders. We'll bring our hands front and center, and let's form the letter I, Y, W, T, and O. I, Y, W, T, and O. Once more. Now let's take the arms down, and again, let's jiggle a little bit, loosening up any tension that we might have introduced. Arms, legs, hands, heads. Okay, then we'll come back to the table pose and do a few movements from there. So finding your table, let's do chair triangle today. We will drop the left leg back and place the right hand in the center of the chair. As we breathe in, lifting the left arm up toward the ceiling, really opening the belly out to the side. So the feet are stable, the belly opens out to the side, and we're actively reaching up. Feel a long stretch up the side of the body. And then as we breathe, let's make it a moving pose. Exhale, body facing down. Inhale it back up for just a few cycles of the breath. And when you're ready, we can release that. And let's trade sides now, stepping the right leg back with the left hand in the middle of the chair. And on this side of the body, we'll open up, beginning with a good stable stretch, reaching toward the ceiling. And then when you feel ready, bringing movement to it, coordinating movement and breath. And returning to table. You can leave your leg back there. And while it's back there, let's take advantage and press the heel into the floor. Really getting a good stretch down the back of the leg. And if you feel stable on your floor or your carpet, let's come up to a lunge. Take a moment to feel the stability and also to feel the stretch down the back of the leg. Then let's trade sides, dropping the opposite leg back, taking a moment to give it a good stretch. It deserves a little time. And then we'll come up to the lunge. And stepping up, let's release ourselves from all the poses that started with table, and we'll do a little bit more standing work. So warming the muscles, the large muscles of the legs. Let's begin at center. Take a moment just to feel the breath, to get a sense of the body's energy right now. Then let's strengthen the muscles of the legs, stepping out to the temple pose on one side, a nice squat, and back to center, taking it out to the other side, back to center. So breathing in and out, and in and out. Seeing if you can keep your spine erect and just drop the tailbone down. As we get a little bit more loose, maybe the squat gets a little deeper. We'll see what your knees can tolerate today. Things are always different. Then we'll come back to the middle. And from here, let's challenge my memory, and we'll see if we can make it through the palm tree vinyasa today. That's always a challenge for me. It's not that difficult to do. It's just hard to remember all the steps. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Breathe in, lifting the arms up. Up on the toes and back. Now the arms come down to shoulder height. Let's breathe in. And with the exhale, a nice twist. Back around to the center and twisting to the opposite side. And back. Breathing in, arms coming up overhead. Let's exhale and bend forward about a third of the way down. Arms out to shoulder height. Breathing in, all the way up. Now we go into a series of forward bends. Breathing in and soften the knees. Let yourself come down to a full forward bend. And we're going to touch hands to shins 3 times. So hands to the shins, flatten the back and look up. Relaxing back down over the legs. And again, hands to the shins, looking up, relaxing back down. And finally, hands to the shins, flatten the back, relaxing back down over the legs. Put a good bend in the knees and push up now with the strength of the legs. Reversing swan dive. Back to center. Breathing in. This time, the hands are going to come down, steepling the fingers behind the back. And with the next out breath, forward bend. See if you can lift your arms a little, opening the chest and shoulders. It's okay to have the knees a little bit soft. Then we'll release the arms and come back up, sweeping the arms up. This time, let's take the arms down behind the back, holding the forearms, or reverse prayer, whichever feels better for you. Let's breathe in. And with the exhale, another twist. Back to center, twisting gently around to the other side. And back. Breathe in. And we'll finish with a forward bend, the hands held behind the back. Stay there long enough to be a little bit challenged. Chest and shoulders open. Then let's bend the knees, release the arms, and come back up. All right. That should Alzheimer-proof us for at least a week, don't you think, if we can remember all of that? Now let's do a little bit of warrior work. Stepping to the back of your mat. Simple stuff today. Just warrior 1, warrior 2, and reversing warrior. So let's begin by angling the left foot, stepping the right foot forward. We'll breathe in and lift up to warrior 1. Today, let's make it a holding pose, seeing if we can do 3 breaths. Strong in the belly. Now breathing in, allow your out breath to turn the body out to the side, turning your head to gaze out over your fingertips. So the right arm is forward, the right knee is bent. Holding for 3 breaths. Then let's reverse warrior, reaching up toward the ceiling. Kind of a half back bend. And then back. Coming back around to warrior 1. And with a little forward lean, release. Now on the other side of the body, let's angle the right foot, step the left foot forward. And again, we'll breathe the arms up, holding and breathing. A long line of stretch that goes from the fingertips all the way down to the outer edge of the back foot. Breathing in, and with the exhale, body turning, head turning to gaze out over the fingertips. Just relax your gaze off into the distance, just above your hand. Then we'll reverse warrior, reaching up, big stretch up the side body and back. Returning to warrior one and releasing. Okay, time for another good shake. Shake the arms. Loosen everything up. No more kinks, no more tension. And then let's do a little bit of balance work. So you can place your chair however you like to have it, or not at all if you like to do it without having a chair handy. And today for our balance work, let's do the heron pose, and then we'll follow that by heron with clock motions of the arms. All right, so, all right, find your mountain. Mountain's probably going to feel different now after all of that movement. So just get a sense of how it is in the body right at this moment. Nice, relaxing breath. Soften the knees so that we can tolerate any trembling. Let your gaze rest on something off in the distance and let go of any concerns about how this is going to turn out. The very worst thing it can be is good comedy. Now, when you're ready, let's shift the weight to one side, and with your next breath in, find your heron. The knee is soft. There's lots of trembling. And when you're ready, nice controlled descent back to the floor. Shake it out a little bit. Then we'll recompose and take the weight to the other side. Breathing in and finding heron on this side. If it's not your dominant leg, there may be a lot of trembling until you really find that sweet spot. Coming in for a landing. Now, that went very well. So let's see if we can push the envelope, right? Until we all fall down. Let's switch the weight to the opposite side. We're going back to the first leg. Breathing in, coming up to heron. Now, whichever leg you have out in front, let the opposite arm create a circle. First one way, and if you're up for it, back the other way. So the center of balance is constantly shifting, bringing a little more challenge to it. All right, I see everybody coming back to stillness. So let's challenge the other side. Coming onto your leg and lifting up into heron. When you feel a little bit steady, let the opposite arm follow through one way and then the other. Aha! I managed to stay on my feet that time. All right, that was good. Now let's come back to seated posture. Oh. Take a moment to get a sense of the real estate. Then let's turn sideways in the chair and find your chair warrior position. So one knee is forward and the other one is a little bit awkwardly back. With the hand on the back of the chair for support, let's carefully find ankle, foot, or pants and see if we can't get a good stretch of the quad muscle in the front of the leg. And if this one does not have any appeal for your body, if it feels unsafe in any way, it's okay to sit it out. Or just hold it for a little bit of time, letting that large muscle get a little longer or a little softer. Then release the leg, bring both legs back together, and we'll take the body as a whole around to the other side. Now on this side too, let's find that chair warrior position. And when you feel stable, search out foot, ankle, or pants. Taking a moment, just breathe and let the posture create the stretch for you in a passive way. While you breathe and observe what's happening in the body, releasing, bring the legs back together so we don't pull anything, and then let's come back front and center. Now we did a lot of things with a lot of body parts today. Let's invite one ankle up to the top of the knee, and we'll finish our active practice with pigeon. So breathing in, reaching out through the crown of the head. With the exhale, let's allow the body to come forward. Now the spine stays pretty straight, and just lower the erect spine down over the legs. Sensing a big stretch in the hip. We'll spend a little bit of time here letting all of that tight connective tissue loosen. And in the meantime, let's check in, softening the face, allowing the arms to relax, letting go of tension in all the places where we don't need it to hold ourselves in the pose. Now rising up, coming back up to our seated posture, let's release that leg back to the floor. Just take a moment to check out the hip and how it feels after that movement. And then let's see how it is on the other side of the body. Always a challenge. On one side, the dominant leg is much tighter than the other one. Let's breathe in, and with the exhale, again, lower the erect spine down over the legs. It could be very different from one side to the other. I know on this side of the body, I really can only go a few inches forward. Softening. Let's take the time for a few releasing breaths, maybe even audibly sighing them out. As the hip does the work of stretching, the whole rest of the body and the mind can relax. Now rising back up, Let's return that leg to the floor. And we'll pay a little attention now to mobility in the head and neck, which is a nice way to bring the energy down, bring the active practice to an end. Let's take the head gently from side to side, letting it glide. And if you find any resistance, just letting go of that. Now returning to the center. Let's breathe in, lifting the chin, stretching the front of the neck. And with the exhale, allow the chin to trail down toward the chest, stretching the back of the neck. Head lifting up and down. And the next time the head is down toward the chest, let's sweep the right ear toward the right shoulder. Now letting the chin drift back down, sweeping the left ear toward the left shoulder, following a half circle in the front of the body. Really nice stretch down the side of the neck. Seems to even go into the ears. Down to center again and back up to the starting point. All right. I think we've earned a little time in Shavasana. So let's begin with settling into the chair. Finding a position that you can relax in and still have nice opening in the front of the body. And we'll begin with a simple body scan today. I'll be naming parts of the body, and you can bring your awareness to that part, just getting a sense of presence in that part of the body, noticing anything that comes to the senses in that area. And as I name different parts, moving the attention on and around the body. So let's close the eyes now. Breathing in, and with the exhale, letting the whole body soften and relax into the chair. Then we'll bring attention to the top of the head. And begin to allow awareness to drift down over the forehead and the brow. Bringing awareness to the eyes. The eyelids are closed, but there might be some sense of the right eye and the left eye. Aware of the nose and the breath moving in and out of the nose. Noticing the right ear, the outside of the ear, and maybe even some sense of the inside. And the left ear, outside and maybe inside. Sensing the cheekbones and the mouth. inside the mouth and the lips, noticing the jaw. Breathing in and breathing out, aware of the breath moving through the throat. And bringing attention to the shoulders, the right arm, sensing from the shoulder to the elbow, the elbow to the wrist, and the hand. Maybe some sense of the hand touching the leg, the movement of air across the skin. And then bringing attention to the left arm, shoulder to the elbow, elbow to the wrist, and the left hand, palms, fingers, breathing in now and sensing the movement of breath in the chest. Gentle movement of the ribs as we breathe in and breathe out. The back of the body, perhaps as it touches the chair. Any other sensation that might be present anywhere along the back. And around to the front of the body, sensing the belly, the hip bones, and maybe some suggestion of the organs inside. Aware now of the pelvic floor, the place where the body meets the chair. The right leg, from the hip to the knee to the ankle, and the right foot relaxing into the floor. The left leg, the hip to the knee, the knee to the ankle, and the left foot. Breathing in now, aware of the whole body, the whole container of skin, and the spaciousness inside. Letting go of all effort, just resting, just for maybe 2 minutes, nothing else to do, but to breathe in and out of the spaciousness of the body. Now beginning to return, deepening the breath, letting small movements come back to the body as our eyes float open. We can stretch and wake up with a little bit of movement, a gentle roll of the shoulders. And with our arms down at our sides, let's see if we can get everybody nice and awake, but still relaxed. Sweeping one arm up over the head. Nice stretch up the side of the body and back to center. And on the opposite side. Just moving from side to side. And if there's any other motion that your body feels like it needs, feel free to do that. Mine feels like it could use a little bit more gentle twisting. So I'm going to take one hand to the opposite knee with my spare arm behind me on the chair and gently twist. And to the opposite side, breathing in, exhaling into that gentle twist. That feels like what I needed. I hope you did too. Let's finish our practice today with the same mudra that we did on New Year's Day. I'd like to set the intention for the year to practice the yogic value of non-harming. See if we can't all lead lives that are not harmful to ourselves and not harmful to others or to the planet we live on. So with our hands in prayer pose, relax that prayer pose into a little bit of more of a triangular shape, squatting the fingers down. So it's like a wide prayer pose. This is called the gesture of the dove, Kapota Mudra, the gesture of the dove. So sitting for just a moment, can close your eyes if you want to. Breathing, softening all resistance, and setting the intention to be more benign and less harmful as we move through the world in 2021. And I thank you. Thank you for sharing practice today. It's always my privilege to practice with you. May we be happy and peaceful. May we be well in body and mind. May we be safe from all harm, and may our practice of yoga bring peace to our lives and to the lives of those we touch. Namaste. Namaste to all of you.
Namaste, Julie.
All right.
Thank you.
Very good day, a very good week, and I'll see you on Friday.
Thank you, Julie.
Sure.